Behind the Cape. So you watched Wonder Man, and we're not going to discuss what it is that you saw. If you want to know some of Marcus's thoughts, he spoke with Blue over on Blue's house. I guess really the only thing that I care about is they rolled out the first episode by itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden decided to just dump it all. And I believe they did a similar thing.
No,
with...
it was all 8 episodes at once. On the initial release, they
okay, so they didn't
8.
even.
No.
Okay, so again, they did something similar with Ironheart.
Yep.
Where they dumped pretty much everything all at once.
Echo at least got a 3-part release.
And if I'm not mistaken, Ironheart and Wonder Man clearly did not get a lot of promotion. Now, Yahya did do a little bit of a press run, but what promotion did y'all really see for Wonder Man?
So here's the, because I've seen this discourse a lot online this week too. So with there's definitely been things or promos that you've seen for Wonder Man, either in the lead up or just around the release, like in these last couple of weeks since it's been out. The problem is that shit started in like January.
Mm-hmm.
See, back when people were saying it in December, November, like, hey, don't y'all have a show coming out in the first month of 2026? Like, are y'all going to promote it? See, there wasn't a whole contingent of people online going, oh, well, this is a dumb take. This is a stupid take. But now that they can point to most of the work that Yahya and Ben Kingsley have done in the last 30 days, that the show has come out within the last 30 days. It's not like it's been 30 days worth of promo and now we about to see the show like a normal press run would be.
Right.
No, it's been, okay, for these 2 weeks leading up to the show and for the 2 weeks after the release, we'll promote it. Which is like, fam, fuck you. Like, I'm not sitting around waiting for you. Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, we saw the first teaser for that around Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing the shit for Euphoria back a month ago. We got the first looks at what was coming for Euphoria Season 3. That is press. That is promotion. Not dropping out 2 weeks before the show hits the fucking streaming service all at once.
There's no hype being built.
Like
whatsoever.
Again, I hate to talk about Twitter engagement because at least half, probably more than half of it is fucking fake. It's either bought or it's a bot. Bought or bot. Bought or bot. Don't argue on Twitter because it's either bought or it's a bot. It's either a fake person or a person who is paid to argue with you. Stop fighting on Twitter. Help your health. But to reference it, it's all of these bad actors. Oh, what a brain dead take. I saw them on Saturday Night Live. Fuck you. The show's already out. He went on Jimmy Kimmel. He was there with Ben Kingsley. Who gives a fuck? The show's already out. Are you going to do any MCU hype for it? Is it at all connected to the greater MCU? The project itself? Did any of the other characters in the lead up of other shows or other movies mention a Simon Williams or a Wonder Man? Or did any damage control agents start coming around talking about threats happening in San Francisco? No! That is a lack of promotion. Lack of marketing. Either stop playing the fuck out of crazy because it happens to be a black character, which it shouldn't have been. Or go get your paycheck somewhere else. You got to run these bots up out of there. Out of the MCU discourse. At least find a human to argue with.
Yeah, that kind of leads me to my next point. I compared it to Ironheart. What have you seen of Ironheart since the show? How much Ironheart have you seen? And if I'm not mistaken, the last thing I've even heard of Ironheart is that she won't be in Doomsday.
She will not be in Doomsday.
What does that lead you to believe as it pertains to the future of what they expect out of Wonder Man in the future?
Man, there is no future for Wonder Man. If I'm just being completely honest, there is no future for Wonder Man. He can be the MCU's Andor if that's what they really think that they need. If they think that they need a hyper meta product that doesn't really have all that much to do with superhero business, then Wonder Man is their show. I, for one, think the superhero studio doesn't need such a show.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not about whether or not there's quality in the performances of Ben Kingsley, and is it Knightley? What is that man's name?
Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley, or Yahya Abdul-Mateen, or whether or not Daniel Destin Cretton can shoot this, this beautiful project that evokes a lot of emotion, or really takes you into the life and times of an actor. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I didn't come here for that. Didn't come here for that. And I know you made Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi would laugh at that shit that you made in Wonder Man. Shang-Chi looks at Wonder Man and he shits his pants laughing. Because what is even that? What is that? Why is that? Who is that? Because apparently, we're not just Simon Williams Wonder Man. No. We're Simon Williams trying to play the role of Wonder Man.
Makes sense.
Because, it's deep and shit.
This is a continuance of a story we talked about last week. That actually I think I brought up during Dubs and L's, actually. Melania has a documentary. And not only is it doing terribly in the box office, right? They spent upwards to $75 million total, including $30 million marketing the thing. And it didn't even make $5 million the first week. They did a premiere, which Nicki Minaj went to. Fuck her. And
is that what that press conference is about? That was the premiere to her movie?
I believe so.
Oh man.
And yeah, on top of that, they are rating it very terribly on Rotten Tomatoes.
Fam, first of all, several things to note with that. Number one, this entire venture is an apology to her. This is like a makeup gift. This is like, okay, you got to be seen in public, hold my hand again. What do I need to do? And she's like, well, I want to make a movie. I've always wanted to be an actress since I got shipped over here. And then he was like, okay, fine, fuck it. I'll just find somebody to do it. And then when nobody accepted it, he went and found a pedophile to direct the movie. And
he said great things about Rush Hour afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. So, also, another discrediting incident or example of why we should discredit Rotten Tomatoes. While there are several, very low opinions of Rotten Tomatoes, the critic score was up around 99 to start. And then the audience score got the working and got down about 6%. So
for what?
The audience score at one point was 99 for that movie, or not audience, excuse me. The critic score was at one point 99. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and then the audience got their eyes on it and it got a 6. So.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised that the MAGA supporters aren't out there at least beefing this thing up a little bit. The new Keke Palmer-led I Love Boosters film.
Y'all, listen. I'm not trying to be against us doing stuff and, having our stories told and stuff like that. But, in 2026, where do you rank movies about boosters in the 70s in terms of your level of importance and what you want to see from black creators? We only going to get 2, maybe 3 of these projects a year. If we're lucky, one of them is from a major studio. Just help me define a list. Where does stories about boosters fall in that list for y'all? I'm interested. I want to know. How important is it for you to see that movie? Since we got so many stories that haven't been told. Where is a gang of boosters versus racist fashion house madam featuring Demi Moore?
Yeah, bro.
Y'all tell me.
Demi Moore is an antagonist. Haven't seen that since Charlie's Angels. Actually, I think we probably have seen it since Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
That's the last time I cared.
No. I mean, Demi's made quite a few movies since
As
Charlie's
the,
Angels.
as the antagonist,
Oh well, yeah.
she probably has. But the last one that I've cared about has been Charlie's Angels.
You should watch
Regardless.
The Substance.
Yeah, Boots Riley. Boots Riley is the person who created this, and you probably know Boots Riley from Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah, sorry to bother you. I'm seated. That's what Lauren says. Okay, that's not the question I asked you. What I asked you was, where does that rank on the list of narratives that you want to see in a film? We can like Boots Riley. We can like a lot of the people that was in the cast of this movie. I'm asking, when you was like, damn, I want to see another black creator do a major motion picture next year. Ryan Coogler inspired me to go see more black creators. Was you thinking like, damn, I hope they make a movie about stealing clothes?
Nah.
I'm just asking.
But
But
she
I was going to say that, Lawrence, about The Substance, but was she...
an antagonist?
I don't think she was an antagonist in The Substance. I think her little body clone thing ended up being the antagonist.
That was my whole thing. I don't know.
Kiki movie looks like a high budget BET movie. Look, I wasn't gonna say it, but you know, I just want us to like take that but you know what? You also got to think that when you shop these products, you got to let them know what it is you're doing. The studios, at least, so they probably look for opportunities like this to give to people to show, and that's the most defeating part of it, because like you want to root for Boots Riley, I definitely want to root for Keke Palmer and most of the people involved. I just didn't have that on my bingo card, and I don't know if I'm about to bust out my wallet to go see that in the theater.
You mentioned earlier when we were talking about this, her roles, like the roles that she's picked as of recently, and obviously she did the movie with SZA, and she did Nope. Yeah. I will, those are okay. But outside of those two roles, the Asian thing, the Asian HBCU
oh
thing.
Oh my God, I had almost forgot that was even a thing, Josh.
Well, I brought that up because that the movies that she's been in recently, or I guess The Burbs is a series, I think.
Yeah.
So The Burbs and this, the Asian HBCU thing, hanging out with Blueface and Plaque Max.
I don't know who like, obviously she's in a talent agency or some sort
We've
of
gotten
management.
into a real weird era as far as Keke Palmer.
Who the fuck is picking shit for her though? Like, it's just like
the Jonathan Majors interview
that got scrapped, but then she came back with Funny Marco and who else did she do interviews with? Nothing like.
It's been a real weird era for Keke Palmer.
It was oh no, hold on, wait. I'm losing it now. It was somebody else. It was another. It was actually ain't shit.
I think it's been a little weird. Her career, I guess, since the Usher thing. Since the Usher thing, it's been
so much has happened to Keke Palmer in like the last 5 years. She was accusing her baby daddy of being abusive. Then the audio leaked of her and her mama calling this nigga gay, calling Usher gay. Then Then the weird streak of career choices started. And it was like, all right, we got a movie with SZA, that's kind of cool. But then you're gonna be playing Tom Hanks' role in The Burbs. You're a booster, and then you're gonna produce a show about an Asian girl at a HBCU. We all over the place.
We are.
Who's picking this shit? In the meantime, you doing weird ass streams. You streaming with Blueface. You streaming with Kai. You can't find nobody your age. Go do Call Me Daddy.
Plaque Max acting like she's in love with him or something.
Yeah, she did Plaque Max. Fam, go sit down somewhere with somebody. Find Gail. She ain't working. CBS put her ass on ice. Go find Gail and go talk.
Go talk is crazy. Ryan Coogler explains the backstory behind Smoking, Stacking Sinners. This is the full quote, at least what I have here from Discussing Film. But I believe there's a video out there where him and Michael B. Jordan discuss. But this is just a quote here. They killed their father, hid out at Mary's mom's place, then went to New York and joined the military. Went to fight in France, and they went back home for a little bit. Mary was older, so that was when Stack and Mary happened. It was like a 3-year run where the twins had basically broke up. Smoke and Annie got their house, and Stack and Mary went to Little Rock. When they lost their daughter was when things got rocky. They both basically left their partners and went to Chicago.
When who lost their daughter?
Uh, I'm assuming Smoke and Annie.
I thought
Because-
that was her son. She called him her son. Did she not? In the movie?
I don't know. This literally says when they lost their daughter.
Okay, maybe it was a daughter. Maybe a daughter baby. It's crazy. Maybe maybe it was a girl. I could have sworn they said that was a boy. But in any case, I don't think that was any of the context that was missing from the movie. We picked up most of that.
Kill the father was for sure in there.
They left the military, followed him to the military. He said that in the movie.
They definitely went to Chicago.
They
That's where
get
came
to Chicago,
from.
right? They explained the whole thing with Mary and Smoke at the train station, basically. You know, well, you licked my coo so good, I thought you changed your mind.
I think it's interesting that they went through and made sure. I mean, obviously, some of the backstory had to lead into what was in the movie, as we just discussed. But I do think it's interesting that they create such a detailed backstory for things that may not have anything to do with the film whatsoever, just to make sure that the character is that detailed at some level. Which speaks, I guess, to the dedication that both Coogler and Michael B. Jordan have to their craft.
Man, these boys just gabbing. They trying to get that Oscar.
Yeah, well, facts.
They gabbing. They trying to get that Oscar.
And I still don't even know that the dad had to die in this instance.
Fam, I don't know nothing. I ain't arguing about sinners right now.
I mean, you
did
did
enough of that this summer, yeah.